Hi, my name is Lily Calero Calafel, and I am a Foreign Affairs Officer with the U.S. Department of State, Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor. I am the proud daughter of Cuban parents who immigrated here to Miami, Florida during two of the four historic exoduses. With that context in mind, you can likely tell how vital and important my job of working to uphold democratic values and fundamental freedoms is to me. Growing up in the greater Miami community, I always felt a strong sense of patriotism and appreciation for what it meant to be an American. But I also felt pride in what it meant to be a descendant of Cubans who stood up against oppression and authoritarianism, and who fell in love with the idea of liberty and freedom and all of the opportunities that America gives to all of us. I knew then, as I know now, that my perspective is unique, and it gives me the rare opportunity to view conflicts around the world through a more interconnected lens. I felt then and feel now a strong sense of identity with the rest of the world. I feel a strong sense of identity in the work that I do because helping to bring democracy and basic human rights to Latin America and all of the world is not just a job, it's a personally fulfilling duty for me. I come from hearing atrocious war stories at the dinner table from my own parents' experiences. Most people only think about some of these stories that I heard about. So when I get to work on something that might help prevent the continued spread of these horrors, it makes getting up in the morning all the more worthwhile. Unfortunately, as Latinos, we've all been there at one point or another at that dinner table, hearing the insane things that our families have gone through. But we were lucky enough to make it here. Now, a burning question that I always had growing up was, I want to serve my country, but I don't know how. How do I do it? My family stems from a very humble background with no real connections to anyone important, no networks of government officials or diplomats, nothing. And sadly, the academic community in my hometown didn't really forge a straightforward path for me. I didn't let that stop me, though, from achieving my goals. In fact, it only made me work harder. I knew I was a young Cuban American woman with something important to say and something important to do. So I put myself through college, go Knights, UCF, graduating in the top 20% of my class. I secured an unpaid internship with DHS, and I continued to work at night to continue helping my family. I spent countless hours on USA Jobs applying for anything that I could find myself qualified for. I knew the first step to getting here was getting in, and the rest would all just fall into place. Luckily for me, someone in the State Department's Human Resources Office saw my application and decided to give me a chance, and I landed my first job with the State Department as a passport specialist in the Charleston Passport Center. Throughout my career with the department, I've served in several offices, and I've come to meet some of the most inspiring, unique, and breathtaking individuals. Foreign and civil service alike, it is an honor to work in this collective. At times it felt quite intimidating, but I always remember my purpose. I am here to help leave this world a bit better than how I found it. I am here to make sure that no other little girls and boys ever hear those horror stories at their dinner table. In the State Department, you'll find that you can pick a struggle, any struggle, hunger, access to water, law enforcement, anything. Pick one. And I promise you, there's an office working on fixing, preventing, or mitigating that struggle in some shape or form. Likewise, the opportunities for career growth and experience here are truly unmatched. As someone who's worked in other government agencies, I can confirm that the grass really is greener here at the stateside. From temporary duty tours to London and Puerto Rico, to intelligence briefings, to getting to work on criminal prosecutions, all the way to managing domestic operations for passport services, and now doing the good work of furthering democracy, the State Department has never failed to push me to rise to the challenge and contribute to our great mission. There are so many programs and professional growth opportunities that we offer that I can't ever keep count of. Even the opportunity to leverage your own language skills, your own Spanish, to either further a diplomatic goal, to further a case, or even to help you learn a third language like Portuguese. This is where the world is your oyster. So from one fellow Cubana Americana to another Latinx hermano or hermana, I encourage you to take a hard look at everything the Department of State has to offer. And don't for a second think you can't be a part of this great workforce. If you're passionate, if you're willing, and if you're committed, you too can bring the change the world needs here at State. Start small, but dream big, and don't stop dreaming. Get with your career services office. Get on USA Jobs. Get on the Foreign Service Officer Test roster. Subscribe to all of our notifications. And come listen to us during our outreach efforts. Be intentional in your search, and I promise you that you'll find someone willing to listen and ready to help. Muchísima suerte, amigos, y los veo pronto.